and then jumped in himself. Lord Orville, with a bow and a half smile, wished me good night. My concern was so great at being seen and left by Lord Orville in so strange a situation, that I should have been best pleased to have remained wholly silent during our ride home; but Sir Clement took care to prevent that. He began by making many complaints of my unwillingness to trust myself with him, and begged to know what could be the reason. This question so much embarrassed me, that I could not tell what to answer, but only said, that I was sorry to have taken up so much of his time. "Oh, Miss Anville," cried he, taking my hand, "if you knew with what transport I would dedicate to you not only the present, but all the future time allotted to me, you would not injure me by making me such an apology." I could not think of a word to say to this, nor to a great many other equally fine speeches with which he ran on, though I would fain have withdrawn my hand, and made almost continual attempts, but in vain, for he actually grasped it between both his, without any regard to my resistance. Soon after, he said that he believed the coachman was going the wrong way, and he called to his servant, and gave him directions. Then, again addressing himself to me, "How often, how assiduously have I sought an opportunity of speaking to you, without the presence of that brute, Captain Mirvan! Fortune has now kindly favoured me with one, and permit me," again seizing my hand, "permit me to use it in telling you that I adore you." I was quite thunderstruck at this abrupt and unexpected declaration. For some moments I was silent; but when I recovered from my surprise, I said, "Indeed, Sir, if you were determined to make me repent leaving my own party so foolishly, you have very well succeeded." "My dearest life," cried he, "is it possible you can be so cruel? Can your nature and your countenance be so totally opposite? Can the sweet bloom upon those charming cheeks, which appears as much the result of good humour as of beauty—" "Oh, Sir," cried I, interrupting him, "this is very fine; but I had hoped we had had enough of this sort of conversation at the ridotto, and I did not expect you would so soon resume it." "What I then said, my sweet reproacher, was the effect of a mistaken, a profane idea, that your understanding held no competition with your beauty; but now that I find you equally incomparable in both, all words, all powers of speech, are too feeble to express the admiration I feel of your excellencies." "Indeed," cried I, "if your thoughts had any connection with your language, you would never suppose that I could give credit to praise so very much above my desert." This speech, which I made very gravely, occasioned still stronger protestations, which he continued to pour forth, and I continued to disclaim, till I began to wonder that we were not in Queen Anne Street, and begged he would desire the coachman to drive faster. "And does this little moment," cried he, "which is the first of happiness I have ever known, does it already appear so very long to you?" "I am afraid the man has mistaken the way," answered I, "or else we should ere now have been at our journey's end. I must beg you will speak to him." "And can you think me so much my own enemy? If my good genius has inspired the man with a desire of prolonging my happiness, can you expect that I should counteract its indulgence?" I now began to apprehend that he had himself ordered the man to go a wrong way; and I was so much alarmed at the idea, that the very instant it occurred to me, I let down the glass, and made a sudden effort to open the chariot door myself, with a view of jumping into the street; but he caught hold of me, exclaiming, "For Heaven's sake, what is the matter?" I don't know," cried I, quite out of breath, "but I am sure the man goes wrong, and if you will not speak to him, I am determined I will get out myself." "You amaze me," answered he, still holding me. "I cannot imagine what you apprehend. Surely you can have no doubts of my honour." He drew me towards him as he spoke. I was frightened dreadfully, and could hardly say, "No, Sir, no, none at all; only Mrs. Mirvan, I think she will be uneasy." "Whence this alarm, my dearest angel? What can you fear? My life is at your devotion, and can you, then, doubt my protection?" And so saying, he passionately kissed my hand. Never in my whole life have I been so terrified. I broke forcibly from him, and putting my head out of the window, called aloud to the man to stop. Where we then were I know not, but I saw not a human being, or I should have called for help. Sir Clement, with great earnestness, endeavoured to appease and compose me. "If you do not intend to murder me," cried I, "for mercy's, for pity's sake, let me get out." "Compose your spirits, my dearest life," cried he, "and I will do everything you would have me." And then he called to the man himself, and bid him make haste to Queen Anne Street. "This stupid fellow," continued he, "has certainly mistaken my orders, but I hope you are now fully satisfied." I made no answer, but kept my head at the window, watching which way he drove, but without any comfort to myself, as I was quite unacquainted with either the right or the wrong. Sir Clement now poured forth abundant protestations of honour, and assurances of respect, entreating my pardon for having offended me, and beseeching my good opinion; but I was quite silent, having too much apprehension to make reproaches, and too much anger to speak without. In this manner we went through several streets, till at last, to my great terror, he suddenly ordered the man to stop, and said, "Miss Anville, we are now within 20 yards of your house, but I cannot bear to part with you, till you generously forgive me for the offence you have taken, and promise not to make it known to the Mirvans." I hesitated between fear and indignation. "Your reluctance to speak redoubles my contrition for having displeased you, since it shows the reliance I might have on a promise which you will not give without consideration." "I am very, very much distressed," cried I. "You ask a promise which you must be sensible I ought not to grant, and yet dare not refuse." "Drive on," cried he to the coachman. "Miss Anville, I will not compel you, I will exact no promise, but trust wholly to your generosity." This rather softened me, which advantage he no sooner received, than he determined to avail himself of, for he flung himself on his knees, and pleaded with so much submission, that I was really obliged to forgive him, because his humiliation made me quite ashamed; and after that he would not let me rest till I gave him my word that I would not complain of him to Mrs. Mirvan. My own folly and pride, which had put me in his power, were pleas which I could not but attend to in his favour. However, I shall take very particular care never to be again alone with him. When at last we arrived at our house, I was so overjoyed, that I should certainly have pardoned him then, if I had not before. As he handed me up the stairs, he scolded his servant aloud, and very angrily, for having gone so much out of the way. Miss Mirvan ran up to meet me, and who should I see behind her but Lord Orville! All my joy now vanished, and gave place to shame and confusion; for I could not endure that he should know how long a time Sir Clement and I had been together, since I was not at liberty to assign any reason for it. They all expressed great satisfaction at seeing me, and said they had been extremely uneasy and surprised that I was so long coming home, as they had heard from Lord Orville that I was not with Madame Duval. Sir Clement, in an affected passion, said that his booby of a servant had misunderstood his orders, and was driving us to the upper end of Piccadilly. For my part, I only coloured; for though I would not forfeit my word, I yet disdained to confirm a tale in which I had myself no belief. Lord Orville, with great politeness, congratulated me that the troubles of the evening had so happily ended, and said that he had found it impossible to return home before he inquired after my safety. In a very short time he took his leave, and Sir Clement followed him. As soon as they were gone, Mrs. Mirvan, though with great softness, blamed me for having quitted Madame Duval. I assured her, and with truth, that for the future I would be more prudent. The adventures of the evening so much disconcerted me, that I could not sleep all night. I am under the most cruel apprehensions lest Lord Orville should suppose my being on the gallery stairs with Sir Clement was a concerted scheme, and even that our continuing so long together in his chariot was with my approbation, since I did not say a word on the subject, nor express my dissatisfaction at the coachman's pretended blunder. Yet his coming hither to wait our arrival, though it seems to imply some doubt, shows also some anxiety. Indeed, Miss Mirvan says, that he appeared extremely anxious, nay, uneasy and impatient for my return. If I did not fear to flatter myself, I should think it not impossible, but that he had a suspicion of Sir Clement's design, and was therefore concerned for my safety. What a long letter is this! However, I shall not write many more from London, for the Captain said this morning that he would leave town on Tuesday next. Madame Duval will dine here to day, and then she is to be told his intention. I am very much amazed that she accepted Mrs. Mirvan's invitation, as she was in such wrath yesterday. I fear that to day I shall myself be the principal object of her displeasure; but I must submit patiently, for I cannot defend myself. Adieu, my dear Sir. Should this letter be productive of any uneasiness to you, more than ever shall I repent the heedless imprudence which it recites. End of Letter 21.